Greetings all, and welcome to a segment that I call Tales of WHOA. Basically, where I recount D&D stories from my past, which made me go, whoa. For today, I'd like to recount the tale of my first ever Dungeons & Dragons character. He was a very short-lived character. He only lasted for, he made it through one session, and then the game sadly disbanded. But he's always held a special place in my heart, so I'd like to share my tale of Zem the Digger. Zem the Digger was a cleric necromancer wizard hybrid. He came from Ravenloft. Basically, he was a priest who spent his time burying a lot of people, as you are wont to do in Ravenloft. And over time, his family line had always been grave diggers and priests, and so much so that the shovel that they used was actually an ancestral shovel, and it was passed down the line to all of the different descendants of the Diggerson family, as they were known. All that was, except for Zem's son. Now, Zem's son, unfortunately, I never created a name for him yet. His character didn't last that long. But his backstory and motivation was that his son had gone on an adventure, or was grabbed by a group of adventurers, inspired to action from them, and he went to deal with a necromancer, or a lich, actually, to be more specific. Now, in Ravenloft, or at least the Curse of Strahd book, there is the Amber Temple, and spoilers for those of you that have not played it, but in the Amber Temple there resides a lich who has kind of lost his brain a little bit. He's lost his mind. However, this lich was considered a problem, so the adventurers came through the town and, were all talking about going into action to deal with this lich, and Zem's son was invited along against his his father's advice. It did not go well. His son was mortally wounded, but he did manage to come back with the lich's spellbook, and here we begin with Zem's tale. His son succumbs of his wounds, and the lich is after the book. Knowing that it would not be safe for this book to return to the lich, Zem took it upon himself to flee with the book. He packed up all of his equipment, he grabbed his trusty shovel, he actually took his son's coat, which was part of his outfit, and set off to try and escape through the mists of Ravenloft. Not knowing, in fact, that it's just, again, more hand-waving than anything else, that he was actually part Vistani, so he was actually able to pass through the mists of Ravenloft. And that was the backstory. In game terms, I got him involved in a game that was... It had already been going for a few weeks, and I'd been playing Dungeons & Dragons as a dungeon master. My first foray into D&D 5th edition was as a dungeon master, and I'd never actually played as a character before, and I really wanted to do so, and Zem was my character for doing that. I got him involved in a pre-existing game, and I got to run him at 5th level. The dungeon master said that he would work out a way to, hand wave it so that Zem would arrive in the story in progress. So I gathered up my things. I ordered myself a special miniature from Hero Forge. I painted it up. I printed off all my spell cards, and I was good to go. Coming into the event, I waited for roughly 2 hours until my character was finally brought in via the means of some weird teleportation contrivance. The party up until this point had been wandering through a castle that was situated on an island. I can't recall specifically what the reason for being there was, but I think a dragon had given them the task of going and retrieving something there. And basically, Zem appeared in the middle of basically a teleportation trap. One of the other players actually wanted to change his character, so this character triggered the trap and was replaced with Zem and this other character. And my character was immediately set upon by the other members of the group. Zem took an axe to the face, managing to cast various spells and managing to convince them to back off and not kill him. The rest of the adventure sort of petered out a little bit. We fought some things. I can't remember what they were, to be honest. There were weird crab mechanical creatures stuck inside a mist. I really must find out what they were, because thinking back on it, it was a very unique adventure. I don't actually recall ever coming across anything quite like it since. And then with the other enemies that were there, Zem opened up the spell book and managed to find what he thought was a healing spell, which technically, when you're talking necromancy, is just healing that was incredibly late. And created himself some skeletons, much to the displeasure and concern of the other members of the party. But I used, Zem used them to scout his way through parts of the temple, and that was basically where the adventure ended. So we never found out what was going on. One of the party members, I do recall, went for a bit of a wander and fell in full plate into a flooded section of the temple where he met up with a dragon turtle. We never really found out how that one resolved either, but I don't think too well. But yeah, that was the tale of my first character, Zem the Digger. And I hope to catch up with you next time for more Tales of WHOA.